Alright, let's talk about one of the quickest ways to get your product validated and get some customer feedback. If you're building a product in 2025, it is really important for you to get some customer feedback as quickly as you can. And today we are going to talk about one of the such methods in which you can get your customers' feedback as quickly as possible. Alright, my name is Neil Patel and I'm the founder of Sync Signature. It is an email signature platform and we recently launched on something called AppSumo. And today we are going to discuss about my launch at AppSumo and how to actually launch your product on AppSumo and certain questions related to that. A lot of founders has reached out to me to ask about the whole process of AppSumo from start to end, and I think it makes sense to kind of come up with a video that can help potential founders looking to launch on something like that, like AppSumo, to get some product feedback quickly as possible. So today we are going to talk about AppSumo. Uh, we are going to specifically talk about what is AppSumo, how to launch on AppSumo, is it worth doing it or not, and some bonus lessons from Sync Signature's launch. So yeah, let's deep dive into it. What is AppSumo? AppSumo is a marketplace for buying and selling software at a discounted price. So people usually come on AppSumo to buy softwares that are discounted, and founders like us use that platform to basically launch a software or digital product. So that's about AppSumo. AppSumo's community consists of internet entrepreneurs, founders like us, small business owners, agency owners, and a lot of variety of creators, marketers, etc. So if you're looking to launch something in the domain, or if you're looking to attract the community like that, AppSumo is the ideal place to do that. AppSumo is in fact the biggest marketplace for all sort of lifetime deals, where people will come and purchase a software for one-time price and they'll use it forever. So that is the kind of a narrative of AppSumo. Second thing we want to discuss is, should you launch on AppSumo or not? So basically, I would say if you're building a software and if you're looking for a quick feedback or fastest way to get the right kind of feedback from a lot of different places, countries, users, then AppSumo is a good point where you can launch and you can get some feedback. But of course, you will have to make sure that the kind of product you are building is responsible, or the kind of product you are building is making sense for it to go on AppSumo for sale. So that you have to calculate. You will have to make sure that the economics works in your favor, since the people who are going to buy the software through AppSumo is going to pay only once. So you may have to take care of a lot of calculations in that sense. But I think overall it's something that I would probably suggest doing a lot of people, because you will get a lot of feedback from the community. So that's about should you launch on AppSumo or not. Let's talk about how to launch on AppSumo. If you really want to launch on AppSumo, there are two different ways. One is marketplace and the second is select campaign. The marketplace is basically an open marketplace where you can submit the product details, and after certain verification or evaluation they will let you publish on their marketplace, where a lot of people come looking for softwares like yours. So that is one way of launching it, and it is probably independent of the timeline as well. You can just simply submit your product and through the AppSumo website itself, and within couple of days you'll quickly get access to the platform. Of course, not all category of products makes to the to the launch, but there are, if you are launching a digital product, it makes sense for them to approve you, so you'll get access to that. The second category is the select category, which is a lot more premium category of launches on AppSumo that AppSumo takes guarantee of, and they plan the campaign for you. It's if we talk about differences, for example, if you get X amount of traffic on AppSumo marketplace, then you'll probably get 10x or 20x traffic in the select campaign, because they design a full campaign around your product, and they will promote it in a way that it's their own product. So that is the main difference. And going to select category also comes with a lot of responsibility on your end, because you will have to have the right kind of support system. You'll have to have a good working product, because their team will really test the platform really well, and do a lot of testing on your product. So these two important categories are there. You'll have to make sure that you qualify for those. And if all works out, AppSumo team will probably collaborate with you on the select campaign as well. Sync Signature was launched on a select category. uh, we launched on 17 December 2024, and it has been just 3 weeks now. So we don't have enough data yet, but yeah, I mean, so far it has been going really good. We have received 17 five-star reviews and a lot more sales in the campaign, during the campaign so far, and we are looking forward to get some more. So yeah, I mean, let's talk about select category campaign launching in detail. So for example, if you start a communication for select category, what you will have to do is you will go to the website where there is a specific select category application. You'll have to submit the form there, or you can go through another route, which is get introduced by somebody who has already launched on the AppSumo. Or AppSumo team also proactively approaches a lot of founders, or invite them for this category of launch. So if they find your product very useful or very interesting, they will probably ask you to launch on this category as well. So these are some of the ways you can get into select campaign. Once you start, or once you get in touch with them, they'll have a primary call where you'll be sharing a lot more details about the product, your team size, etc., to them. And probably they launch a lot of deals in for like last couple of years they have been doing it. So they know what category of product can make sense for select category, so they probably know already. And they'll just have a discussion with you, and then probably you'll start forming a contract together, where you'll discuss about the pricing, the commission structure, etc. And the contract is drafted, and then you basically opt to start with the process of signing up the contract and launching. So that's how the process looks like. You'll probably also uh, 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 you know the AppSumo will also in the select category, AppSumo charges a lot higher in that sense. So they'll take 70 to 80%, in most of the cases 80% of the revenue share that you'll generate through this campaign. So of course, as I mentioned, like, you have to have make sense of the economics for your product itself. So all of this discussions happen, and then the final contract is laid in front of you, and then you'll have to sign the contract. Once you sign the contract, there is a 45 days of campaign preparation time, where AppSumo team as well as your team will be working together to kind of uh, prepare for the launch. So you'll get a tentative launch date when you sign the contract, and you'll get introduced to the AppSumo team. There are a lot of different processes that happens on both the ends. There are different tasks with the deadlines that you have to complete, they have to complete on time as well, just to make sure that the campaign is not delayed. So some of the things that will be required from your end would be the product details, marketing communication, the kind of features you have, a lot of details about product, of course. All of these things will be required in a form of a form. You'll be filling up a couple of forms that they have shared with you. Second thing is product demo. You'll be walking them through the entire platform that you have built, or the software that you have built. uh, and some of the bits and pieces of that video recording will be used in your promotional video as well by their team. So all of that will be happening. So the second thing is that you will be submitting a product demo with them. The third important thing is that you'll be using their APIs to integrate to your platform with them, because all the payments will happen on their platform. Uh, all the people who will be buying software will be on the AppSumo website, and then they will be redirected to your platform to use the software with the kind of tiers that they have bought. Features they will be using in the software will be based on that. So both the platforms are connected through APIs, so you'll be integrating that APIs as well in this 45 days of time. All of this happens in fairly quickly in first couple of weeks, like 1 or 2 weeks. You will have to finish all of these things alongside with the rest of the things that happens on their end as well. So they'll be preparing a sales copy, the full sales copy of the page on AppSumo. They'll be also using your snippets into the promotional video. So they'll create a full-fledged sales video that will be published to YouTube as well. So it's a great real asset for you to have. So that happens as well. So all of these things will happen during this 45 days, and then the launch day will come. And on the launch day, there are two important things that you have to take care of. Number one thing is that you have enough customer support team. At least keep 2 to 3 people in the initial days at least. First week or first couple of days are really critical. That's where people get a lot of exposure to your deal page. They will have a lot of questions, and since there are no questions asked already, you'll have to answer a lot of questions. Once you start answering those questions, they will, there's a section of questions on the deal page itself. So a lot of buyers who will buy later on will probably refer to those questions and reviews as well. So no problem there, but the first couple of days will be a lot of questions and answers happening on the deal page, right? And then at that point in time, you'll have to make sure that all the questions are resolved as soon as possible, so that purchase decision is become or that becomes really easy for them, and they will start purchasing the software and start using it. Right after they start using, or first interactions with your software, your your side of things will have to make sure that you ask for a review. So that is the most important. Second most important thing is, like, you get the reviews of the software on AppSumo platform from the people who have already purchased. So that is really important, because as long as you are getting good reviews, AppSumo will push your deal page to a lot of different places, and you'll get a lot more traffic eventually. So that is really important. Two important things: one is that you answer all the questions really fast. The second is you set up automations or email campaigns to get the reviews as soon as as fast as possible. You can also close some of the customer queries and ask for review right away. So all of these things happen, and they have some elaborated tutorials on this as well. You can refer to them, and you'll be ready for the launch. So if we want to talk about whether it is worth it or not, should you do it or not, I would have just one answer to it, which is it depends. Why it depends? I think there are a lot of upsides and potential downsides as well. So I think it makes sense if you weigh in your options and then decide by yourself whether to do it or not. I'm just gonna highlight certain upsides and downsides that I have mentioned so far, or I have observed so far. So that way it will help you to decide whether to do it or not. So let's talk about upsides for now. The first point is you get paid. Of course, the amount of money that you will get is not going to be replacing the subscription value of the number of customers, but I think you'll still be able to get a lot of money upfront when you're just in the journey of building the product, or you have just launched. It's gonna be a lot of money in that sense, and it will probably help you decide, or help you with a certain number of months revenue, or runway as well. So it makes sense to do it for the money. Number two is you get a lot of feedback. The AppSumo community itself is very active, and they are proactively looking for softwares. So they know a certain way of testing the product, and they are better than, at least, or far more active than the usual customers that you'll get on your SaaS or software based products. So I think you'll get a lot of critical feedback in terms of usability, in terms of functionality, in terms of feature requests as well. You'll be a lot more equipped with the kind of response that you'll get, feedback that you'll get. Your roadmap will be full as well. So a lot of things will happen in that sense as well. So a lot of activities in terms of product usage, so you'll get the right kind of cues from the real customers, and not some the hypothesis that you have made so far when you are building the product. So that is one of the great thing about it. Third thing is that you'll get a lot of visibilities when you launch on AppSumo is considered to be a very reputed place, and the launch will give you a good backlink of AppSumo. Plus you'll be you'll be published on a lot of different platforms uh, that probably promotes your deal as well, as a part of the AppSumo campaign. So there are a lot of affiliates who work for AppSumo, so they'll probably launch your deal to their audience as well. So a lot of backlink process, SEO visibility is there, so that way it is very fruitful to you. So that is the third point that I wanted to mention. The fourth point is that if the product that you have built is something that people will love or the community will love, they'll use your product a lot. So that's one of the good thing about it as well, that you'll get a lot of people using your product. So that's a great point, right? And that also potentially is a downside as well. So if a lot of people, uh, ideally, the overall, for example, if you uh, if we talk about in terms of percentage, only 20, 30, or 40 percent of the people who actually buys your LTD will actually use it. But if your product is really good, a lot of people will use it, and that they have only paid you once, so there is no recurring subscriptions or payment options that you will probably uh, ask them to pay for. So that's considered as one of the downside as well. So you may want to weigh in your options in that way as well. So yeah, I mean that is one of the downside I would consider. The second downside I consider is that you know even even the software deals are at a discounted rate, a very fraction of what the actual subscription value would be. uh, a significant portion of that uh, will be taken by AppSumo. So AppSumo share will be a lot more crazier. Like it will be at least 70 to 80%. 80% is the first time launch products will be bearing 80% of the cost. So AppSumo will take the 80% of the total revenue share that you get. So that is one of the things, but that can be negotiated. But uh, if your product has like a high value, they will probably negotiate it to probably 75 or 70%, but it's up to you. You can decide when the contract is being made. So that can be done as well. So I think these are some of the downsides. There are potential upsides as well. So it really depends on the type of product you have, the category of product you are into, and the usage or the resources that your product takes in order to operate. You'll have to calculate all of that and then come up with a plan where come up with a conclusion that whether to choose to launch on AppSumo or not. So these are some of the things I wanted to share. I just shared with with this video. If you have any more questions, feel free to reach out to me directly, and I'll be happy to answer them. Yeah, I mean, this is one of the impromptu episode of the B&B podcast, and I think this adds a lot of value since I was getting a lot of queries. So yeah, I mean, I just made sure that this is all out on a form of video, and I hope you all enjoy it, and I hope this will be fruitful or valuable to you.